Hello, hello, everybody.
Hi.
The dynamic duo is back.
That's been a while.
Back and better than ever. How is everyone doing today on this beautiful Tuesday in Northeast Ohio?
It's so nice here in Cleveland.
Absolutely beautiful. Stunning.
We're going to the Metro Parks sometime this afternoon, so if you're around here, that's a great way to get some grounding in, get a little nature time in, just wear some mud-proof boots maybe.
216-965-9303 is our phone number. Anything we can help with, including appointments for functional medicine, medical cannabis, sauna, IV therapies, please let us know how we can be of assistance to you. Again, 216-965-9303. I'm Dr. Dan Nitis.
Dr. Jessica Hutchins.
Great to be with you. So we have a few things that we wanted to talk about today.
Yep.
Right? What would you like to
First,
start with?
I just want to show off my earrings. So my mother made these, like beaded, single beads.
Nicely done, Diane.
And it's amazing. So Mom, if you're not watching, I'll send this to you. But really, that's a really cool gift. And if anyone's looking for gifts to give, making jewelry like that, I just think that's so much more meaningful than just going to a store and buying some. So just
Or
thank
gift
you,
cards.
Mom. Or gift cards. Right.
Absolutely.
Unless they're gift cards to Inspire Wellness.
Very cute.
All right.
Quite
Well, we were going
the
to talk.
Comedian.
I am a comedian.
You are a comedian.
We're going to talk about two kind of unrelated things just because they don't take up too much time. Well, I guess they both could take up too much time, but we just wanted to get them both in this week. So, and I guess I'll go first.
Okay.
With mine. I was listening to probably about 3 or 4 hours worth of parenting this next generation podcasts, lectures, things like that from so-called experts. And I know that you're the only mom's parents are the only experts with their kids. Actually, the kids are maybe the only experts in them. But it's still interesting to hear all these ideas. So again, these aren't my ideas, but I really resonated with them. And I hear horror story after horror story and parents crying in the office all the time that they don't know what to do with these kids. I can think of like 5 people off the top of my head. I am wearing eyeshadow because I wanted to look
looking
a little.
there, and I'm like, wow.
Like I feel like I look like I'm
Sorry,
from
I didn't mean to
outer
interrupt.
space. It's purple because I wanted to match the earrings.
That was like squirrel. Right. Like, sorry.
He's a guy who does not notice anything.
I
do,
did
so
notice that.
Good job.
Sweet.
What was I saying? Parenting. Oh my gosh. So these again are not my ideas, but they're really, really insightful. And there's something that like my parents' generation, my grandparents are gonna laugh this whole. Oh my gosh.
Now we're gonna wear.
We might have
lipstick
to
next time.
excuse Dr. Nitis from this.
Sorry. No, we're good.
Don't ever be sorry for laughing.
You got it.
But stop for 10 minutes.
I'm gonna stop.
All right. So this generation of kids, I feel like I need to take the camera off for you.
No, I'm good.
Is just different. I mean, it started a little while ago. Hi, Julie. Happy Tuesday. But this generation is just completely different. And we don't know how to parent these kids to meet their needs. We're still trying to figure out the old, I'm the parent, you're the kid, you do what I say, no questions asked from maybe the 1950s, 70s, I don't know. But that is not the case. That's not the right way to do it, I don't think. So here's just a couple ideas that I got from all these people I was listening to. And you can't ever feel bad about what you didn't do because you didn't have that knowledge in the past. All you can do is just change from now on.
Right.
So these kids seem to be like mini lie detectors. And most kids probably are. It's probably not a new thing. But it seems like all of these kids born now are mini lie detectors. So don't lie. It doesn't mean you have to explain everything necessarily. It doesn't mean you have to give in. And it doesn't necessarily mean that if you do explain things or your reasoning behind different decisions that they're going to understand. But that's different than lying. Just don't lie. So the example one of the lecturers said was he has a vivid memory of when he was a kid and, it was 8 at night and he wanted to go to McDonald's. He was having a McDonald's tantrum and his parents just said, it's closed. You cannot go. Shut up. Basically that's what they were thinking. He knew it wasn't closed. And he shouldn't have had McDonald's, and there were a million other reasons why he shouldn't have had McDonald's, but it wasn't because it was closed. And ever since then, in the back of his mind, literally everything his parents said, he had to figure out if it was a lie or not. I know that's a silly example, but just things like that you would think are harmless lies, kids can pick up on, and that can dramatically change, first of all, their perception of what's going on in the world, and then they don't trust anybody, and it's just like, oh my gosh, I have to fill my day now trying to figure out what are lies and what aren't lies, and that's exhausting, honestly. But also just your relationship with your kid. You want them to be able to tell you anything. And these days, that's hard to have that kind of a relationship for sure. So figure out how to still set boundaries and, do whatever you do in that area, but just tell them the honest reason, or you'll tell them another time, but just don't lie. And it might take some practice, right? I mean, think about in our day, like how many opportunities we have to just have little white lies that we don't think affect anybody. But again, if the kid perceives that you're lying, it's just not good for a lot of reasons. So I don't think I have to explain that anymore. The other thing is give choices. Kids really like to feel like they can choose things. So maybe for lunch, would you like salami and an apple today versus, I don't know.
Peanut butter and jelly.
Peanut butter and jelly, right. And so give choices that you would be happy with no matter what they picked, but giving them choices really can make a difference. And just their feeling of autonomy. I mean, a lot of these kids might be kind of old souls now. So they might know a lot, and they might even know more than you. Again, still keep them safe. Don't let them run across the
They
street.
might be asking why you're offering salami.
Or peanut butter and jelly.
Well, could be a little better. Yes.
So, yeah, just give choices. Let them have some autonomy. And, remember back when, at least people our age, like when we were kids, our parents are like, see you later. All day long, we're gone. We had no cell phones. We had no way to communicate. Literally, we're gone. And I'm not saying that's the safe thing to do now, but we had so much more autonomy. So consider safe ways to give your kids more autonomy, even from really early on, even from before they talk.
First, you have to get them outside first to get them to have some autonomy.
That's a different Facebook Live.
Sorry.
Right, get them off their electronics and they'll be more likely to go outside for sure. So the other thing is try to not get angry at other people parenting different than you. Surrounding your kids. So for example, if we had a kid together and we were totally not like-minded and I wanted the kid to not eat gluten, but you thought that was crazy and you secretly gave them gluten or whatever, and I got so mad, and then the kid would see that, anger too. So you can control you and you can only control you, but just take a step back when something like that is happening and just consider maybe it's happening for a reason. So maybe somehow this kid was supposed to have that in their life, where a parent or a step-parent or a grandparent or something is not doing the same kind of parenting as the mom or dad would like. And that can become such a struggle. Like, how many patients do you see that complain about someone else not doing the right thing, especially their spouse? Right. So the closer the involvement in relationship to the kid, the more likely that it's going to serve a purpose. At least that's, what these people were saying, and, that very much resonated with me. Because I have that problem too. If I know that something is good for my kid, something like not eating gluten, I would get so angry when someone else didn't believe that. But, again, I can't see the big picture. I don't know why that's happening, and maybe that's teaching them something else that's more important than just not having gluten all the time. So, again, silly example, but, it's just easy to just get so angry at other people when all you can control is you. And you don't know other people's paths. Everybody has their own path, including your kid. And that could have been, depending on your beliefs, that could have been planned out way ahead of time. So maybe your kid was supposed to have a grandparent that gave them candy every day for a reason. Who knows? And then the other thing, this is a really big one. Let your kids tell you anything. Let them tell you your feelings. Let them tell you about their imaginary friend. Let them tell you about the monster in the closet. Let them tell you if they think someone else is lying. Be open and never shut them up. Never shut their ideas up. Obviously, there's a time and place where you might not want to be talking loudly or, if you're busy or something and you don't want your kids to bother you. I'm not saying that, but just don't shut down their communication, because then they're going to never tell you anything. And these kids might have different sensory abilities than us too, honestly. It sounds weird, but, maybe they can see things that we can't. So us assuming that they're lying or they're just making something up, that just sets the stage for them to want to shut down and never communicate. So that's really, really, really important. So give them choices. Don't lie. Try to take a step back and surrender a little bit more to the important people in your kids' lives as far as their parenting skills. And then do not stifle their communication with you at all and allow all their crazy, wild ideas to come. And then another thing, which isn't one of the 4 things I wanted to talk about, consider if you continuously butt heads with your kids, especially toddlers or young kids, which we've seen a lot lately, honestly, in our personal environments. Consider that they're trying to teach you something, and consider they're mirroring back something, a lesson that you need to learn or something like that, right back to you. So instead of just punishing them and getting so angry and crying every night and going to therapy and, what can I do with my horrible kid? He just won't listen. I don't know, just take a step back and listen to them. Just a thought. So again, totally different than the dominant 50s parenting style of I am right, I'm your parent, you do what I say without question. That's just not working. And let's support these kids. Let's raise them to be their open-hearted best selves, which all of these things are going to help them do as well. Because we need people like this to really elevate the world right now. And they're not going to be living their, life's mission if they're constantly worried about lies or just stressed out and feeling like they can't spread the truth or share their voice. All right, that's all I have to say about that.
Did you want to talk about Fullscripts and the...
Sure, yeah. So I don't know how many of you guys know about Fullscript. That's the third-party supplement selling website that us and a lot of other doctors' offices use. And probably 50 or more brands are on there. And we use a lot of big brands on there. We use Thorne, Pure Encapsulations, Orthomolecular, probably a bunch of other ones.
Designs for Health.
Designs for Health. Orthomolecular has a policy now, I don't know, it's been a couple months now, I think, where you can't order anything that's that brand unless you have our approval or some doctor approval. And we have a lot of people still ordering supplements from Fullscript that we don't even see anymore. So if you're one of those and you're trying to get orthomolecular products, feel free to send us an email. It's automatically generated if you put the order in Fullscript. I guess they automatically send an email for us to click the approval button, so it's not like you need an appointment or anything. And again, that's just that brand. It's not because the supplements are dangerous or anything like that. It's the same supplements as all the other companies. It's just that brand. I guess there were a lot of people buying large quantities and reselling them, so they want to prevent the resale of them. So again, you need a link for Orthomolecular on Fullscript. You just do it the normal way. You try to order it the normal way, and there should be a button to click, like ask your doctor permission, and we should reply right back to that email probably within a couple hours. So it's not a limiting factor, but it is one more step. And we're going to look around for other brands too that don't need that. There's usually similar supplements in each brand that are just called different things, so we'll let you know too. We might even add it to this post at the end of different brands of things like GlutaShield, Orthobiotic, Mitacor vitamins, Orthomega, the fish oil. Those are probably the big ones that we use, and then digestive enzymes too. And so again, send us the link if you just want those. Otherwise, we can try to find some alternative brands that don't require that.
Awesome. All right. So we have a few minutes left. I said to Jessica that, when we were walking last week, and in talking to patients and really seeing this overwhelming tsunami of chronic disease, not just at Inspire Wellness, but really what's going on in the bigger community across the United States, it really it hit me that there is a tsunami. If we think that we are inundated with chronic disease now, there is a tsunami coming. This was the information that I really felt strongly about it. And honestly, I mean, this could be like what I'm about to say. You might be like, well, duh. The tsunami is in one specific area of medicine, and it's cancer. And we keep, seeing younger and younger people coming in with cancers that were primarily seen in older individuals, 50s, 60s, 70-year-olds. We're now seeing in 20s and 30s. And really the message, it's not one of pessimism. This is a heavy dose of the truth and reality. If you have some ideas about things that you want to do it now. Don't wait. If you want to go on a vacation with your spouse or your kids, you wanted to always have this car, you wanted to travel to see this part of the world, don't put it off. I am really, really quite concerned with how we're all going to be affected by the overwhelming amount of toxicity that industry is throwing at us. We always have talked about the air is compromised, our water supply, the food supply. It's toxic. Plastics, personal care products, electromagnetic frequencies. We know the bucket is being filled higher and higher every day. The way that we're living, again, I'm just focusing on the United States, and so because of that, I really am quite concerned with what's coming, and then people's ability to be able to navigate their life and their world through the lens of a chronic disease. And so again, it's not one of pessimism, it's reality. And I talk to people all the time who are just delaying or putting off. And honestly, I don't see it this way at all. I think if you want to do something, you better do it now. There is no guarantee for tomorrow or next month or next year. And you've heard those words probably over the decades. But honestly, this is real shit.
Yeah, people are dropping dead all over
now.
Honestly,
and again, like we can talk about the jab, the impact that not just the jab and the virus had on our health and even hastening this chronic disease epidemic. But I can only base my concerns on what I'm seeing, what we're dealing with in our patient population, and then certainly what we see in the bigger community. But that really was the message: is like whatever you want to do, you better like really focus on doing it now and don't put things off into the future. I'm quite concerned with what's coming. And by the way, what's even more interesting, I had a conversation with a patient about this on this past Friday, and I said I had this idea that I was going to do Facebook Live, and I'm friendly with him, so I told him about it, and he mentioned to me that Pfizer bought an oncology pharmaceutical company for $43 billion in December. So I did not even know that. And he's like, well, if you think a tsunami's coming, I can tell you it's coming, because why would Pfizer take $43 billion of its own, money and to purchase this other company? Well, they're not looking at it as a losing proposition. We've been saying over and over again, nobody's screaming from the mountaintops what's causing cancer. All we do is keep marching toward places like large healthcare organizations asking for their help, and it's the same thing over and over again. Very expensive surgery and very expensive chemotherapy or immunotherapy. What is the incentive to find a cure? There's not. So if you're looking at the big box healthcare organizations to cure your cancer, it ain't ever going to happen. And certainly the pharmaceutical companies aren't looking for the cure. They're looking to perpetuate this investment. And I remember talking when we were at the Wellness Institute at the time, this was in 2016, we were spending in the United States $3.5 trillion a year on healthcare. It's $4 trillion now, but let's say in 2016 it was $3.5 trillion. And I remember at the time the head of the Wellness Institute saying in 2040 that 4 disease states would cost $1 trillion each for a sum total of $4 trillion just for the 4. So in 2040, we will spend $1 trillion on Alzheimer's care, cardiac care, just hip and knee replacement because of the obesity epidemic, just hip and knee replacement. And then the $4 trillion industry is oncology. So what is the incentive to find your cure? Your cure. Yeah. None. We want you to get these expensive treatments, right? That's the message that we're getting from medicine at large. And so kind of seeing what has been happening since really the pandemic, how things have really, I think it's really escalated. And then again, 2040 is only 16 years away, and we are really marching toward that pretty quickly. I think it's important for all of us. Again, we continue to do the heavy lifting to try to get our bodies to equilibrium, to detoxify to the best of our ability. But in tandem, do the things that you want to do now. Don't wait.
What do you think the biggest reason is, single biggest reason for people not doing the things that they feel called to do?
Because they cost money, so there's going to be financial concerns, and there's always reasons. I have a child in college. My rent is going up. There's a billion reasons why people delay, but I think it comes down to economics. And I'm just going to wait, I'm going to continue to save, and I'm going to wait till I'm 65, and then I'm going to 70 now, and then I'm going to retire, and then I'm going to do all these fun things that I wasn't able to do while, I was part of the workforce from, 20 to 70, or that 50-year period of time. And I think we've sort of been prepared to do things that way. Save, wait till you retire. You'll have your pension. You'll have Social Security. So you have to
think outside of the box when it comes to this stuff.
And again, there's no guarantees for any of that. We've seen pensions go away. God only knows how long we're going to have Social Security and Medicare, how long that's salvageable. But again, there's always reasons to say, to kick the can and say later on. And I'm telling you from what I'm experiencing and just this intuition, it's to share with all of you, like, do the things you want to do with the people you love now. Please
don't let
wait.
fear change your mind. So I think that's probably the biggest reason, whether it's fear of lack of money or fear of getting fired from work if you do something, or fear of your husband leaving you if you want to go change your careers, or whatever the fear is. I think it all comes down to fear, and that is something that is controllable in your mind. So get over the fear and do the things that you feel called to do, period. So what are we going to do next?
Cute. So that's what I had. We love you all so much. We care so very deeply for you, and we just want the best, and for everyone, and for people to have these experiences. I profess to my kids and to patients who listen, I believe that we're here having this human experience for two reasons: building relationships and having the experiences that go with those relationships. And so go out and have the experiences. Don't wait. Just go do them now. Excellent. All right. Well, that is what we have for today.
Hopefully we inspired some of you.
Yes.
To maybe not put all your money into a 401k that you're not allowed to touch till you're too old to use it. All right.
216-965-9303 is our phone number. Let us know how we can help. Again, love to you all. Thank you so much for your continued support of Inspire Wellness. It means the world to us. It means so much to us. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And remember, it's your time to thrive. Let us inspire you. Have a great rest of the week. We love y'all so much.
Love you.
Can't wait to see you until next time. Bye-bye.